In this tutorial, we'll take a look at how open and done conversations work in the DMLY Inbox. You'll learn what each status means, how to mark a conversation as done, what happens when a customer replies, and how to use these statuses to keep your inbox organized. Let's get started. What each status means. In DMLY, a conversation in the inbox is either open or done. An open conversation still needs attention, or your team simply hasn't finished with it yet. Every new conversation starts as open, and a new incoming message will also put a conversation back into open. A done conversation means your team has finished dealing with it for now. It moves out of the open folder and into done. Marking a conversation as done is simply a way to keep your team's queue organized. It does not block the contact, stop the bot, stop broadcasts, archive the conversation, or delete anything. Also, conversations don't automatically become done just because they've been quiet. They can only be marked done by a teammate or by an automation you've configured. There are 4 ways a conversation can be marked as done. A teammate can select Mark as Done from the Inbox Details panel, or use the same option in the mobile app. An automation can also do it using the Close Conversation step in a flow. And if you've connected an AI assistant through MCP with the required permissions, it can use the close_conversation tool. All 4 methods perform the same action. So if you find a conversation in done that nobody on your team remembers closing, check your published flows for a close conversation step. How to mark a conversation as done. To mark a conversation as done, first open the conversation from your inbox. On a wide screen, you'll find the Mark as Done button in the Details panel on the right. Select Mark as Done, and DMLY will take you back to the conversation list while keeping your current folder and filters. If an automation is paused because a teammate previously took over the conversation, DMLY may ask what should happen to that automation. You can choose to resume it, skip the current step, keep it paused, or end it. If you change your mind, you can open the conversation again and select Reopen Conversation. What marking done fires? Marking a conversation as done does more than change its status. When a conversation changes from open to done, DMLY sends the conversation.closed webhook and also triggers any automation built around the conversation closed trigger. This can be useful for things like sending a follow-up message, requesting feedback, or adding a tag after a conversation is finished. These events only happen when the conversation actually changes from open to done. Marking an already done conversation as done again won't trigger them a second time. Reopening a conversation does not trigger the closed webhook or automation. A contact writing back reopens it. If a customer replies to a conversation you've marked as done, DMLY automatically moves it back to open. If the conversation was also archived, it will be unarchived and appear in your open folder with the new message. This means you can safely mark conversations as done without worrying about missing a customer who comes back. By default, the conversation will reopen whenever the contact replies. However, an administrator can change this behavior in conversation settings and restrict reopening to a specific time period or turn it off completely. The message is still recorded in the conversation even if automatic reopening is restricted. Archive is a separate thing from done. It's important not to confuse done with archive. Marking a conversation as done is for managing your everyday inbox queue. Archiving is separate. A conversation can be open or done and still be archived. When you archive a conversation, it moves into the archive folder. Archived conversations are automatically deleted after 30 days. So if you simply want to clear a conversation from your working queue, use Mark as Done. Instead, if you need to bring an archived conversation back, you can select Unarchive Conversation within those 30 days. Keep in mind that delete permanently removes the conversation and its messages immediately and cannot be undone. One contact can be two conversations. A single contact can have separate DMs and comments conversations in the inbox. For example, someone might send you a private message and also comment on one of your posts. These appear as separate rows under the DMs and comments sections. Archiving or deleting one thread only affects that specific thread. However, open and done work differently because the status belongs to the contact. So, marking the DM conversation as done can also move that contact's comment conversation to done. Working a queue down. Now let's look at a simple way to work through your inbox. Start in the open folder. This is your main working queue. Next, use the filters to narrow down the conversations you need to handle. You can filter by assignee, unread messages channel, and whether you're viewing DMs or comments. When you're ready to work on a conversation, open it and reply to the customer. By default, replying automatically assigns the conversation to you. Once you've finished handling the customer, select Mark as done. DMLY will return you to the conversation list, ready for you to continue with the next conversation. Opening a conversation also marks it as read and removes its unread badge. And that's it. You now know how to manage your inbox status. Mark conversations as done, reopen conversations, understand the difference between done and archive, and work through your customer queue more efficiently. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.